Top Fuel Racing League is on the air on a day that the sky is crying, as we just received word earlier in the week that the racing community has lost one of the all-time greats. The Silver Fox himself, Mr. David Pearson, is no longer with us, ladies and gentlemen. So it's with a heavy heart that we present tonight's action. Welcome to Pocono and the Top Fuel Racing Stevie Vaughn 300 here at Pocono, brought to you by PK Motorsports. PK Motorsports for all your graphical needs in your sim racing career. Paul Crumry is where you want to go. But as I said, we've recently lost one of the all-time greats in the auto racing community. Again, David Pearson no longer with us. It happened to be the exact same day that we lost Mr. Stan Lee. Of anybody that grew up reading comic books will know that name. So definitely not a good week, all in all. But business is about to pick up as we are, of course, at the Tricky Triangle, Pocono, Pennsylvania, the Pocono Mountains. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight as the hot lap session about to kick off. I'm sorry, the qualifying session about to kick off. And you guys get a look behind the curtain one more time here. And my system is lagging worse than... yeah. That. So. Come on. Goddamn thing. Great. Well, let's jump right into it. Timing and scoring screen. Do your worst. Alrighty then. As ATVO takes a poo on me. Par for the course. Bob Lacavara out on track right now, hometown hero. As Bob from the greater Pennsylvania area. Kieran Brigelli up on a track right now as well. These guys really wasted no time getting after it. Johnny Antonucci out on track. Making his debut with the league, Mr. Richard Sudduth. Damian Martinez turning laps. Chris Simard, the first one to go post a time. As Kevin Cornelius immediately bumps him. Bumping has begun already. Simard down to second. Make that third. As Brigelli goes to the top of the board. Now Sudduth blisters one. These guys are getting after it fast and furious right now. Sudduth, Martinez, Brigelli, Lacavara, Cornelius, McFadden, Simard, Antonucci, Keith Mayato going ninth quick. Mayato to the top of the board. As Martinez blasts into orbit. going quick time again. Kevin O'Brien out on track right now. Going to be the next one to post time. Relatively short field here tonight. As you hear drivers burning off some fuel on pit road. Mark Walker rolling off. Jeff Hollingsworth rolling off. Paul Crumrye rolling off. Sam Cooper Bennett finally getting his show underway. As right now we're following along with Kevin O'Brien. In the Caterpillar of Australia, 184. And O'Brien goes 10th quick on his first lap. Let's jump over to Sam Cooper Bennett, showing a little humility tonight with a giant "Don't hit me" on the side pods. Stop it! I like it. Nice one, Sam. At least you know you can laugh about the troubles that Sam's been having. Just been caught up in dumpster fire after train wreck after dumpster fire after train wreck after nuclear holocaust after drinking the Kool-Aid. Jeff Hollingsworth jumping up to 7th quick. Cooper Bennett coming around to finish his first flyer. That's going to slot him into the number 8 spot. Defending series champion Scott Brinson out on track right now, bringing it into the tunnel turn, getting it up to speed in the Busch Gardens Sunkissed number 14. Correction, make that turn 3. He's coming across the line right now. And not the lap he was hoping for. That's going to put him 14th quick. Make that 15th quick as Will Kirk jumps up to 7th quick. Sunday night's Bofa Indy Classic Series winner Mark Walker going 16th quick tonight so far. Scotty Brinson still with his foot in it, coming through turn 3, getting the blinkies. And thanks, iRacing. As Brinson to the top of the board. Connection issues and all. Sam Cooper Bennett good enough to slide into 6th quick. Will Kirk going 4th quick. So Dylan Moskowitz, the only one not taking time. So Rated R Racing putting 4 of 5 drivers into the top 10 after qualifying. Roughly 3 minutes left. That's not what I wanted. I hate this computer. Hate it with a passion. Have no use for any computers anymore. F this S, I'm out. As Moskowitz, the only car left to crank one off. Again, Moskowitz known mostly as a full fender kind of guy. Adapting well to the open wheel world. And James McDavid logging into the server right now has not posted a time. but look for him to blast one off relatively soon here. So we're going to have just enough time for Moskowitz to get a lap in. Good enough for 17th quick. Bear with me, folks, because this is really starting to piss me off. And James McDavid getting ready to roll out on track right now. So we are not going to see Mr. McDavid turn a lap, but we are going to ask that if everyone could please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. As good friend of both for broadcasting and U.S. Army retired, Mr. Terry Adams brings us tonight's national anthem. And we are back at the PK Motorsports Stevie Vaughn 300 from Pocono. Qualifying done. I'm going to take a quick look at our starting grid. Scotty Brinson and Damon Martinez are going to roll off in row number 1. Row 2 is going to go to the Canadian crippler Keith Mayato and Captain Will Kirk. Row 3 is going to see Chris Simard and the Carolina Kid Jeff Hollingsworth. Sam Cooper-Bennett and Richard Sudduth going to roll off in row number 4. Row 5, Karen Brigelli and Paul Crumry. Kevin Cornelius and Pennsylvania Posse member Mr. Bob Lacavara going to roll off in row number 6. Row 7, the Thunder from Down Under, Kevin O'Brien, is going to be joined with the second Canadian crippler, Mark McFadden. The Jersey Jet, Johnny Antonucci, is going to be joined with Ohio's own Mark Walker in row number 8. Row 9 is going to see Dylan Moskowitz and James McDavid. So 18 cars scheduled to roll off here tonight. Definitely going to be interesting to see how this one plays out, ladies and gentlemen. So 18 cars, 120 laps, the scheduled distance. Interesting lineup on pit road. As if it's not hard enough to get an Indy car going underway. So field's starting to roll off. Not sure how I feel about the new Pocono gridding policies, but it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't, and who am I to bitch, moan, whine, and complain? Although, for your viewing pleasure, I did inform the the admins that there will be a new policy going into play. Anyone who brings a caution out after lap 6 is going to owe me $20, which I'm going to put towards new computer parts to help improve the stream. And anyone who doesn't pay up for causing a caution after caution number 6, I'm just going to talk smack about him next week. And every other race that I broadcast that they show up in until they pay up. Yeah. Drivers might not like it, but I'm going to laugh my ass off. So as the field works its way into turn number 3 of the tricky triangle, pace car is going to make that hard left turn onto pit road. Scotty Brinson's going to have the button. Just about the only thing that's left to say is, Grandpa, Papa Viagra, it's time to get it on at Pocono. Everybody tiptoeing on the start here. A couple drivers going 2-3 wide already, but that's kind of to be expected. Front group starting to slot in. It's Will Kirk and Chris Simard finally getting it sorted out. Brinson trying to break the draft going down the short chute into the tunnel turn. Will Kirk getting a great run on Keith Mayato on his outside as Damon Martinez makes a bid for the lead going through turn 3 to the inside of Brinson. Drag race to the finish line. Brinson was able to keep it wound up in that second lane. Give that lap to Brinson by 15 one-thousandths of a second. Martinez battling back going into turn number 1, though. Still side by side. One thing to keep in mind is once you've burned the goodie off the tires on about lap 4, these cars are going to start to slip and slide around, and you're going to definitely need to be up on the wheel. So Will Kirk looking to the inside of Martinez now, drops back into the clutches of Keith Mayato. Mayato in that second lane going to be able to carry a little more speed onto the long pond straightaway. Will Kirk slides up, almost collects Mayato. Didn't actually do it, as Brinson way down to the inside to try to break what little draft Martinez has. That's going to let Will Kirk slip on through. I can talk tonight, really I can, folks. I just haven't had a lot of caffeine yet. So the teammates working together right now in the all-orange cars. It's defending series champion Scotty Brinson showing the way. Damon Martinez and Will Kirk slugging it out for second right now. And in case you folks are wondering, where is Sage Karam at his home race? Sage is actually at the Super National Karting event. I believe, if I remember correctly, Rubens Barrichello is there as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how those two go head-to-head tonight, or this weekend, I should say. Field's starting to kind of get strung out a little bit, which is good to see, as this lead pack of 6 is starting to really stretch it out. Almost a full second from Jeff Hollingsworth in 6th to Richard Suddeth in 7th. And from there on back, everybody's at least 3/10 away from each other, which means we're less likely to see a dumpster fire. And Karen Brigelli has already taken it pit side. That's Brigelli rejoining the field there going into turn number 1. So danger moment there as Brigelli goes a lap down. Not sure what happened to Karam. Didn't see anything hinky happen. Did not bring a caution out, so that's good to see. Check back a little bit with Kevin Cornelius in the Milwaukee Tools number 40. Currently holding down the number 8 slot. Sam Cooper Bennett has his teammate Paul Crumry in tow right now. That's Cooper Bennett in the Don't Hit Me number 11. Crumry in the Make 7 Up Yours number 8. So that is 9th and 10th, respectively. It's Crumry in 9th, Cooper Bennett in 10th. And they've got teammate Kevin O'Brien right there as well. So we are working lap 6 of 120. Martinez with a run down the Long Pond straightaway, closing in on Will Kirk. We're right at the point where most of the goodie is starting to wear off the tires, so the aero push is starting to become very real and very concerning for a lot of these drivers. And there it is.
Yellow flag is out.
Stop falling, damn it. Let's take a look at that one again. That was Bergelli and Hollingsworth. Bergelli getting a run on Hollingsworth going into the tunnel turn and just absolutely overcooks it. That car did not even try to turn, and Sam Cooper Bennett catches the race car to the face. Yeah. Well, we made it 8 laps, ladies and gentlemen. So we are now back live. Scotty Brinson showing the way. Look for pit lane to open this time by as the field working its way through the tunnel turn. And I dare say Bergelli's night just became a whole hell of a lot longer, as I believe he already burned his fast repair. So, definitely not the start he was looking for. Jeff Hollingsworth looks like he may possibly have left the build. No, Jeff Hollingsworth's still running. As Brinson goes in, let's take a look. Looks like everybody going pit side, except for Will Kirk. Will Kirk stayed out. See a little bit of damage on the nose of Sam Cooper Bennett's number 11. A lot of suspension damage on that car as he was crabbing after making contact with the crashing Karen Bergelli. So Hollings, ooh, 4 wide's not going to work, boys. Somebody's got to lift. That could have ended poorly. Well, but there's not enough. That reminds me. Scott Brinson, where's my case of beer? So, anyways. Brinson winning the battle off pit road. Damon Martinez coming out in 3rd. Keith Mayato 4th. Chris Simard in Chris Simard in 5th. That needs to update prior to getting to the line. Chris Simard in 5th, Richard Sutton 6th, Paul Crumry 7th, Sam Cooper Bennett in 8th, Dylan Moskowitz all the way up to 9th. So, two-minute pacing laps. Gotta love it. There is not enough caffeine in the world. So we are about to see what tire wear is about to look like. It's Will Kirk getting the bonus point for leading the lap. And everybody behind him has fresh tires. Yeah. Fun and excitement, ladies and gentlemen. Fun and excitement. And shout-outs going out to all the tow truck drivers in the Northeast who've been working overtime the last couple of days. As everybody who has been born and raised in the snow belt of the United States, I'm talking, people that have basically driven in snow most of their adult lives. First snow of the season, inevitably, they forget how to drive in the effing snow. Explain to me how dumb you've got to be during a snowstorm. What type of stupid shit has to happen for you to take a standard road-going vehicle and do a 50-50 grind on a guardrail on a highway? It's snowing out. You know it's going to be slick. And yet you don't even bother trying to show the least iota of extra due diligence to make sure that you're not that person that everybody's talking about at the water cooler at work that day. I have no sympathy for these people, and I hope their insurance rates go through the roof. And the unsung heroes of this time of year are the brave men and women who drive tow truck. And I say this because, these people don't get anywhere near as much credit as they should for all of the crap that they have to put up with. Standing on the side of the road trying to fix your stupid mistake. The least you can do, ladies and gentlemen, if you see those flashing yellow lights on the side of the road, is slow the F down and move the F over. Because, what if it was your family member standing there? You'd probably slow down. And you'd probably give them a wide berth to make sure that they were safe. Well, think about it this way. That's somebody else's family member. Let's make sure everybody makes it home in one piece. Whatever bullshit you've got going on in your life is not worth risking someone else's life. And I hope if anyone out there listening ever actually does green flag. Hit a tow truck driver, I hope they release you into general population and tell them you're a child rapist. So that you just get the ever-loving snot beat out of you on a daily basis. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now. Back underway, Captain Will Kirk got in a great jump, trying to break the draft down the back straightaway. Scotty Brinson trying to go with him. Damon Martinez and Keith Mayato on the outside line. The teammates working the inside line. Brinson having to lift out of it to stay off of Martinez. Martinez getting by cleanly, getting the run on the outside of Will Kirk. Backs out of it to make sure that he doesn't become that guy. And the unsung heroes of the cola industry, the men and women who make Crush. is a tasty beverage. Martinez getting by Will Kirk, slipping back now. Scotty Brinson with a run going into the turn 3 area. Bombs in there, slides up a little bit. Martinez keeping his foot in it. Give it to Martinez at the line. 30 thousandths of a second as Brinson slots back in. So Old Tires coming back to bite Will Kirk in the backside. It's my auto working to his inside right now. They haul off into the tunnel turn. Brinson and Martinez still throwing bombs at each other. Brinson with the nose out front coming out of the tunnel turn. Martinez going to get the draft going into turn 3 though. Throws it in there, catches the rumble strips. Brinson on the high side, able to keep it wound up. Drag race to the line. 2 1,000ths of a second for Scotty Brinson at the stripe. So that second lane already starting to pay dividends. Will Kirk holding strong though in third with 10 lap older tires than the rest of the field. As long as he can get that front wing into some clean air, he's okay. As Martinez and Brinson still throwing bombs at each other. Still another drag race to the line. Give that one to Martinez. By 9 thousandths of a second at the stripe. Check back to the rest of the fielders. They're 3 wide for 6th. That's Sudduth on the inside and Krumrye on the outside. Sudduth. Oh! Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yellow flag is out.
Yep. There it is. Well, that ends Jeff Hollingsworth tonight. As he gets run over from behind by the 40 of Kevin Cornelius. I can sum that up in one word. ARCA! Nobody looking in front of him, so that's caution number 2. Just remember, whoever brings out caution number 7 owes me $20. Good luck, kids. Let's take a look at Sam Cooper Bennett, the bad luck kid. Looks like he dodged that bullet. Moskowitz with some front end damage. As he was all sorts of sideways coming through the tunnel turn. Possibly a little bit of wing damage on Sam Cooper Bennett's car. So Krumrye stays out to lead a lap. Bonus point to Paul on that one. Martinez winning the battle off pit road. Scotty Brinson coming out in 4th. Chris Samard, Will Kirk, Keith Mayato, Mark Walker, Sam Cooper Bennett, and Johnny Antonucci into the top 10. So, James McDavid has put it on the hauler. Karen Bergelli has put it on the hauler. Correction. iRacing's just not being nice tonight. James McDavid coming back out on track right now. I stand corrected. Doing a little bit of pit farming on the Miller Lite number 96. Little bit of damage on Paul Crumry's car. He caught a piece of something somewhere. Looks like he's going in this time. So that is going to hand the lead of the race over to Karen Bergelli. And we are going to step away for a word from our good friends at Low Budget TV.
Down into turn number 1. Another slide job and crossover. The brakes are glowing on that left front as we go 3 wide for the 3rd spot. Making sure they won't pull up. Almost in intersection.
Lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into 2nd place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
I tried. There's contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that 2nd spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schubert, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
And we are back at Pocono. Lights are out on the pace car. Field working its way out of turn number 1. David Martinez is going to have the button. Scotty Brinson going to restart in 2nd. Chris Samard, Captain Will Kirk, Keith Mayato, Mark Walker, Sam Cooper Bennett, Johnny Antonucci, Mark McFadden, and Dylan Moskowitz. Rounding out your top 10 as we are getting ready to start lap 21 of 120. Oy vey. So from what it seems like so far, we're able to get about 9 laps in before somebody steps on their own deck. $17 cars still running in this one. Jeff Hollingsworth was able to get that car repaired. as was Paul Crumry. Field working its way out of turn number 3, and we are back underway as Martinez pulls the trigger. Got to think that Damon's going to be a sitting duck when they get to roughly the short chute between 1 and 2. As Simard working its way to the inside of Brinson. Going to get a little bit better of a restart that time. It's Mayato trying to look to the inside of Brinson as well. Simard to the inside of Martinez as they haul off into the tunnel turn. Martinez lets him have it. And way too early to be running that hard. Tries to come back on him going into turn number 3. And Martinez just pounds it in there. Here comes Scotty Brinson. Simard flirting with disaster on that outside line. Brinson going to get a great toe down the back chute, or down the long pond straightaway. Thinks about making it 3 wide going into turn number 1. Keeps his foot in it. And Martinez says, yeah, go ahead, guys. He throws the block on Will Kirk going into the tunnel turn. Scotty Brinson was running that low line. Will Kirk was coming, and Martinez, great defensive line, takes all the air off Will Kirk's car, causing him to have to lift out of it. Kirk trying to come back as Martinez to the inside of Brinson again. Thinks better of it going into turn number 1. Meanwhile, Will Kirk to the inside of Mayato. Going to get a 2 for as Simard slips up the track as well. So Kirk from 5th to 3rd in one corner. Brinson trying to break the draft. And these top 3 are starting to walk away right now, as Mayato looks like he might be struggling. Martinez to the inside of Brinson as drag race to the line, give the lap to Brinson by 68 thousandths of a second. Meanwhile, back in the pack, Sam Cooper Bennett under heavy attack right now. That's Jeff Hollingsworth getting by him, and Kevin Cornelius stuck behind him. Hollingsworth, a man on a mission right now, but got to be careful. He's already burned his fast repair. As Kirk gets by Martinez coming down out of turn number 3. Drops to the way low line to try to pick up the draft from his teammate. Not as effective as far back as he is as he wanted it to be. Brinson almost half a second to the good right now as he does the Indy snake down the chute in between 1 and 2. Simard looking to make some headway right now as he's getting a good pull off of Keith Mayato in front of him. No pressure from behind as he's half a second to the good over Mark Walker. Walker has Moskowitz all over his back wing right now. Moskowitz looking to the inside of Walker as they go into the tunnel turn. Thinks better of it. Knows from his stock car experience you cannot go too wide through the tunnel turn and live to tell the tale. Scotty Brinson still in control of this race as Captain Will Kirk looking to the inside coming through 1. Just getting that car in a ton of clean air. Looks to the inside going into the tunnel turn. And Brinson knows he's coming, just lets him have it. Going to slide in behind him on the exit, crosses him over. Almost gets into his teammate. Mean ya. You'd never know these guys were teammates by the way they're racing each other, would you? Brinson to the inside as they get to the tunnel turn. Great run, bombs it in there. Will Kirk sees he's coming, just lets him have it. Kirk going to slot in behind him. Now falls into the clutches as Martinez. Martinez looks to the inside going into turn number 3. Kirk going to be able to keep it wound up on that second lane. And Brinson got to be seeing this in his mirror and smiling ear to ear as he's now stretching out that lead to almost 0.4 of a second again. Martinez and Mayato going to the inside of Will Kirk. Mayato thinks better of it. Again, a lot of stock car experience there from Mayato. Knows you can't hang side by side through the tunnel turn. Going to try to get a toe down the front chute. The long pond straightaway. The longest oval straightaway in North America. Scotty Brinson 9/10 right now as they come down the chute in between 1 and the tunnel turn. Mayato all over the transmission tunnel of Captain Will Kirk. Mayato to the inside, has the run down the front chute. And gets the position going into turn number 1. Not much Kirk could do about it. And here comes Samard on the high side. Just keeps his foot in it, keeps it wound up, and just power move. Gotta think Will Kirk has burned all of the goodie off those tires already at 13 laps into a fuel run. Meanwhile, Scotty Brinson has set cruise control as Martinez starting to reel him in a little bit, slowly but surely. The field's starting to get a little bit strung out, which is not a bad thing to see. Closest battle on track right now is between Mark Walker and Will Kirk. That's Kirk in the white and orange car, Walker in the purple and gold. Walker gets a better run down the long pond straightaway and bombs it into turn number 1. Kirk has a little bit of a pucker moment as he gets the car sideways, catching the apron, coming through 1. Gets it collected back up, and we stay green, thank goodness. Moskowitz now going to be the next one to set his sights on Will Kirk. Gotta think he went way too hard, way too early, and burned all of the goodie off those tires. That's Mayato hanging tough with Martinez right now. Again, your battle for second. Scotty Brinson starting to stretch his legs again, 9/10 to the good. My auto with a little bit of aero push coming through turn 3. He's going to lose a lot of headway to Martinez. Going to try to draft it back up down the long pond straightaway. Still not close enough to make a move going into turn number 1. Taking that second lane, trying to keep it wound up. Guys in lockstep right now, and I got to be thinking we're closing in on a set of green flag pit stops. These guys are 17 laps into their fuel stint already. And Will Kirk falling like a stone right now as Moskowitz gets by him. Hang on to her, Kevin O'Brien. Sam Cooper-Bennett and Jeff Hollingsworth still battling it out. It looks like Hollingsworth may have burned all the goodie off his tires. Cooper-Bennett with a long ball game plan. Hollingsworth on the outside line, though, is going to be able to keep it wound up a little bit better. This is your battle for 8th. The field pretty well strung out, so this battle for 8th between Hollingsworth and Cooper-Bennett, your closest one on track right now. Cooper-Bennett, a little bit of a bobble coming out of 3. Keeps it collected back up, and we stay pointed in the right direction, so that's a good thing. And my auto has gotten by Martinez. And Will Kirk was the first one to blink. Definitely burned all the goodie off those tires. Will Kirk is now a lap down.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Eh, crap. Oh, what happened to Bob Lacavara? Alright, here he is coming through the tunnel turn. It's Paul Crumry in front of him. Doesn't look like Bob was close enough to really have aero wash. Just looks like, yep, connection issues and overcooked it. And tried to take down the turn 3 wall. So that brings out caution number 3. And that car is crabbing badly. Looks like Bob towed it. So we are going to step away for a word from our friends over at the Esports Network.
And he hits him again now. Ray Alfala into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Lee to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press. Saves it. What a save.
Look to the outside as Tronke goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint
driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Eyes trying, there's contact though.
Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Venner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the upset the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schubert, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Down into turn number 1. Another slide job and crossover. The brakes are glowing on that left front as we go 3 wide for the third spot. Making sure they won't pull up. Almost in intersection. Almost pushing each other into the intersection and around. It's going to be fun to keep an eye on someone to be made popular from this one. Got to keep an eye on it all, but this is the battle to watch right here, the battle for third.
And we're back at Pocono. Wholesale pit stops for everybody that time. Lacavaro's night might be done. Take a quick rundown of your top 10. Scotty Brinson winning the battle off pit road. Keith Mayato, Damon Martinez, Chris Samard, Mark Walker, Dylan Moskowitz, Jeff Hollingsworth, Sam Cooper Bennett, Kevin Cornelius, and Mark McFadden rounding out your top 10. And tonight's Heartburn brought to you by Hoffman Hot Dogs. Not normal. Normally those things don't bother me, but hey, it is what it is. And Lacavara rejoins the race, was able to finally get that car fixed. So good to see Bob able to get the fast repair taken. So that leaves us with 17 cars still running. Kieran Bergelli still in the pits trying to get that car fixed. Whether or not he's going to make it back out, that has yet to be seen. So Willikirk getting the wave around, putting him back on the lead lap. 5 laps on his tires. Everybody else 1 or less. Make that 2 or less. So Brinson going to have the button as the lights go out on the pace car. Yay and stuff. Would like to remind everybody, join us Friday night as the Paskey's Cardiac Grand National Series starts Season 2 at Daytona. So, fun and excitement abound on Friday night. Sam Cooper Bennett and myself going to be up in the booth for that one. And don't forget to join us on Saturday night as the Catalyst Major League Esports Series closes its season at Homestead, Miami for the K&N Series. And then, of course, we will be back Sunday. I will be back Sunday with Sam for the BOFA Indy Classic Series as they take to arguably the shortest track we're going to see all season, Iowa. And don't ask me where Sam and Scotty are going to be tomorrow night because I'm not 100% certain. That's why I didn't mention it. We will talk about that one in the post-race because the two of them will be surely joining me for that one. As Brinson pulls the trigger, we are back underway. Mayato getting a good start. Martinez hanging tough on that low line. Almost gets into Chris Samard. And they're almost 3 wide through turn number 1. Martinez looking to the low line. Mayato going low. Trying to pick up whatever draft he can from Brinson. Mayato in that second lane right now, seeing that second lane can keep it wound up. Brinson bombs it into 3. Mayato trying to battle back. Brinson going to hang on for that lap. But only just barely. Mayato still working that second lane, trying to see what type of momentum he can carry as they come down the short chute in between 1 and the tunnel turn. Side by side into the tunnel turn. Mayato with a nose out front. Brinson bombs it in and gets it to stick. Mayato keeps his foot in it though. Drag race into turn number 3. Still side by side. Oh, Mayato! Mayato into the outside wall, and we are back under caution. What in the blue blazes happened there? Let's see what the chopper picked up. That's Mayato on the outside, Brinson on the inside. Here they are going into 3. That was either a hardware failure or netcode. Because I could have walked my fat crippled ass between those two cars. Mayato does the right thing rather than try to drive a wounded car. Just stays high, gets out of everybody's way, and stands on the brakes to make sure he doesn't collect anyone else. So that's doing it right, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new to sim racing, don't try to battle with a damaged car. Just if you eat the wall like that, make sure you just keep it out of the way, stand on the binders, and make sure that nobody else gets collected in the dumpster fire. Doesn't look like a ton of damage on the Repsol Honda. But, time will tell. And that's going to put Kevin O'Brien back on the lead lap. As he's getting ready to take the wave around now. Mayato goes pit side. Cornelius goes pit side. Antonucci takes it pit side. And there was a little bit of damage on Mayato's cars. You saw the under tray get pushed back out. So, working caution number 4, we are going to step away for this brief word from our good friends at Low Budget TV.
Down into turn number 1. Another slide job and crossover.
The brakes are glowing on that left front as we go 3 wide for the third spot. Making sure they won't pull up. Almost in intersection.
And he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Race lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press.
Saved it.
What a save.
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Eyes trying, there's contact though.
Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schumacher, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
And we're back from Pocono. Scott Brinson, Damon Martinez, Chris Zimard, Dylan Moskowitz, Jeff Hollingsworth, Sam Cooper Bennett, Mark Walker, Captain Will Kirk, Mark McFadden, and James McDavid rounding out your top 10. As lights are out on the pace car, we're getting ready to go back to green. Brinson going to have the button as the field coming out of turn number 2. Martinez hanging back just a tick in that second starting spot, waiting to try to get an eye on Scott Brinson. Pace car's in. Brinson pulls the trigger. We are back underway as Simard and Martinez side by side coming down the Long Pond straightaway. Martinez pinches down a little bit. Samard's still there. How about Dylan Moskowitz holding down the number 4 slot? How about the kid in the Don't Hit Me car? Currently sitting 3rd.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And, of course, who was it? Kevin O'Brien. What happened to Kevin? Coming into the tunnel turn. Coming into turn 3. He got into it with Keith Mayato. Mayato catching a big piece of that one. What the hell happened to Mayato? That's Bob Lacavara in front of him. Oh, that's what happened. That started with Kevin Cornelius. What happened to Kevin? So he goes to the inside of Paul Crumry and just slides up the track and gets run over by John Antonucci. Okay. Two away, boys. Fair warning. Just remember, whoever brings out caution number 7 owes me $20. Well then. Will Kirk taking it pit side. Mark McFadden going pit side. Jeff Hollingsworth going pit side. So McFadden stays out, Walker stays out, Crumry stays out. So Kirk, Hollingsworth, McDavid, Antonucci all going pit side. Cornelius, Lacavara stays out, getting one of his laps back. He is the wave around. So Cornelius going pit side to get that damage repaired. Mayato having to tow. O'Brien having to tow. And we're still not to halfway. Why do I have a feeling this is going to be a $60 night? So right now we're going to reach out to a gentleman that we normally see with the full fendered stuff, Mr. Dylan Moskowitz. Dylan, tell me up in the booth. You got me, sir.
Yes, sir.
So a lot of stock car experience here at the Tricky Triangle. How's it feeling in an IndyCar to you, sir?
To be quite honest, I think I have more IndyCar experience here. The first 20 laps had to fully figure it out, and I feel fairly confident. It's a little crazy. That last restart was fun, but yeah. How's it look from up there?
Well, it looks like you got that car set on rails right now, sir.
That's
starting shotgun on the... Excuse me.
You're all right.
Starting shotgun on the field like you did.
Put up a lap, but yeah.
Well, we've seen that from you before, where you put in the safety lap and and then just march your way through the field. So, good on you, sir. Hopefully that your good luck continues as you continue your march towards the front.
Thank you. Good luck up there in the booth.
Yeah. And do remind everybody that you guys are 2 cautions away from somebody paying me $20.
Oh.
Yeah. The caution number is 6. So whoever brings out caution number 7 owes me $20, and any caution after that is a $20 payday. So you might want to remind everybody of that.
I might let them know.
Have a good one, sir.
You too. Good luck up there.
So, like I said, Dylan, with a ton of full-fendered experience, but he does have some IndyCar experience in the official series. So, got it figured out in the first 20 or so laps, and now sitting pretty in 4th. So, good on you, Dylan. Let's take a quick look at our top 10. Scotty Brinson, Damon Martinez, Sam Cooper-Bennett, Dylan Moskowitz, Chris Samard, Mark Walker, Mark McFadden, Paul Crumry, Richard Sudduth, and Captain Will Kirk in 10th. Will Kirk, the first one to go pit side under this caution. So, going to be the freshest tires on track, restarting in 10th as the lights go out on the pace car. Brinson going to have the button again, as his teammate starting right behind him. Field working his way into the tunnel turn. And it looks like Keith Mayato has put it on the hauler, as has Kevin Cornelius. So Brinson gonna have the button. Martinez sitting second. Martinez a little further forward than he was on the previous restart. Pace car makes that hard left turn onto pit road, and Brinson pulls the trigger. We are back underway. Martinez pinches down Cooper Bennett into victory lane, actually. Trying to stay off of Martinez. Keeps it wound up on the inside. Cooper Bennett up into second. Here comes Samard as well. Samard having to deal with Moskowitz. Moskowitz all over the rear wing of Sam Cooper-Bennett right now. They're side by side hauling off into the tunnel turn. Cooper-Bennett lifts out of it. Flirting with disaster on those rumble strips. Inside line is not where you want to be coming through turn number 3. Moskowitz up into third. Cooper-Bennett going to fall back a little bit, as Chris Samard comes side by side with him as they haul off into turn number 1. Samard able to keep it wound up. Cooper-Bennett going to have the pull down the chute, leading into the tunnel turn. Going to duck back in front of Mark Walker. Martinez working the high side on Brinson. Brinson keeps his foot into it, coming through 3. Tries to break the draft as best he could. Moskowitz getting the blinkies right now as they work their way through 1 and 2, or through turn 1. That's Martinez to the inside in the tunnel turn. Brinson looking to cross him over, thinks better of it. Now looks going into 3. Side by side, here we go. Brinson bombs it in, slides up in front of him. Martinez has to take evasive action, and Brinson's still going to lead that lap. 49 thousandths of a second at the stripe. Moskowitz just biding his time, as is Chris Simard. Both of them within striking distance. Brinson gets position going through the tunnel turn. Martinez to the inside. Martinez not close enough to do anything with it, coming through 3. So Brinson going to have control of the field again. Simard got by Moskowitz coming through the tunnel turn. Gets a great pull, and there it is. Nope, wasn't him. Who was it? Oh, it was him. What happened? Just arrow push for Captain Will Kirk, and eats all the safer barriers. You see him sucked right up to Mark Walker there. Looks to the inside. Walker takes all the air off of Kirk's spoiler, and yep, bounces it off one safer barrier and into the inside safer barrier. And we are back under caution. Yep, I'm getting paid tonight. As Will Kirk wasted no time, he puts it on the hauler. We are going to step away for this word from the Esports Network.
And he hits him again now. Ray Alfala into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Lee to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press. Saves it. What a save.
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
I'm going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
He's trying, there's contact though.
Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact. He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schubert, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Race lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press. What a save.
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's Howling down to the inside.
Trying this contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact. He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Makashube, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
And we're back at Pocono. Scott Brinson going to have the button again. Damon Martinez, Chris Samard, Dylan Moskowitz, Mark Walker, Jeff Hollingsworth, Paul Crumry, Richard Sudduth, Mark McFadden, and James McDavid rounding out your top 10. The field working its way through the tunnel turn right now. Just past the halfway point. And remember, whoever brings out the next caution, this kid's getting paid. Now watch him stay green the rest of the way. Which would be my luck. Plain and simple. Field coming out of turn number 3. Will Kirk has put it on the hauler. And Bob Lacavara is back on the lead lap, as is Kevin O'Brien.
Green flag.
Brinson pulls the trigger. Samard side by side with Martinez. Here comes Moskowitz. As Hollingsworth and Moskowitz go side by side for 4th. Brinson way down on the inside, coming through the short chute in between 1 and 2. Martinez with a nose out front going into 3. Brinson keeps his foot into it. Drag race to the line. And give that one to Brinson. .15 of a second at the stripe. As Moskowitz and Hollingsworth still throwing bombs at each other. Meanwhile, up in front, Martinez with a nose out front. Side by side through 3. Drag race. Martinez with the momentum. Brinson going to drop in behind, get the toe going into 1. Very defensive line for Brinson going down the short chute in between 1 and the tunnel turn. Here comes Martinez back to the inside. Going to try Brinson's move of bombing it into the corner. Brinson able to keep it wound up on that high side. Car length advantage at the stripe. Now, mind you, these guys are doing this at 225 miles an hour. Field's starting to get strung out a little bit, which is not a bad thing to see. As Sudduth and O'Brien going at it. O'Brien got the wave around, already back up onto the lead lap. Sorry, already back up into 8th. Meanwhile, the battle continues between Mark Walker, Dylan Moskowitz, and Jeff Hollingsworth. Moskowitz going to look to the inside, coming down the long pond straightaway, all and off into turn number 1, side by side with Walker. Walker keeps his foot in that second lane and just carries a ton of momentum down the short chute. Hollingsworth looking to the inside, going through the tunnel turn. Moskowitz learned from Walker, kept his foot in it, and was able to carry the momentum coming out of 2. Indy Snake down the short chute. That's Simard in 3rd. Slowly stalking Damon Martinez. Brinson continues to show the way. Martinez sitting in 2nd, Simard 3rd, Walker and Moskowitz rounding out your top 5. 50 to go currently. It'll be 49 at the stripe. Cooper Bennett looking to the inside of Richard Sudduth right now. That was Kevin O'Brien you saw flash by. That was 7th place. This is your battle for 8th. James McDavid looking to get by as well. Sudduth in the black and yellow car. There goes Cooper Bennett. Flirting with those rumble strips in 3. And unfortunately, connection issues for Paul Crumry in the Make 7 Up Yours number 8. Samard still stalking Damon Martinez from 3rd. Martinez in 2nd, Samard in 3rd. Samard just biding his time right now. Fourteen cars still running, all 14 on the lead lap. This is your closest battle on track right now. Scotty Brinson continues to show the way. Martinez sitting in 2nd, Samard holding down 3rd. A 2nd and a quarter to the good over Mark Walker in 4th. So you saw Walker's purple car there just appear in the background. Johnny Antonucci starting to close in on Mark McFadden. That's your battle for 11th. Don't forget to join us next week as we go to Sam Cooper Bennett's home track at Brands Hatch. And I love that track combination. This car, that track, just an amazing combination. So hopefully we get a good turnout for that one as well, as it'll be the 2nd time we've gone to Brands Hatch since I've been with the league. Unfortunately, I missed the first time. I was in the hospital. I won't be in the hospital next week, I'll tell you that much. And if I am, you're going to see me broadcasting from my hospital bed, because I want to see that race. Back at the front of the field, that is Scotty Brinson showing the way. Damon Martinez sitting in 2nd, Samard in 3rd, and then you've got one hellacious gap to Dylan Moskowitz, 1.8 seconds back, who's sitting in 4th. Field's starting to get really strung out right now, as we are only a handful of laps away from possibly seeing some green flag stops. One of the first ones to go on pit road is most likely going to be Bob Lacavara, as he's already 27 laps into his fuel run. We're following along with Dylan Moskowitz. He is holding his own right now in fourth, not gaining any time on Chris Simard, though, in third. Jeff Hollingsworth, we saw have problems earlier all over the rear wing of Mark Walker right now. We're at that magic time where aero push is definitely becoming real. Mark Walker flirting with disaster, coming off at 3. That was Paul Crumry way off the pace, just trying to stay out of everybody's way. Walker gets it all wrong going into 3 as Hollingsworth up into the number 5 slot. Walker trying back on Hollingsworth coming through the tunnel turn. Hollingsworth keeps his foot into it. Walker going to be relegated back to 6th. And Martinez and Brinson swap slots coming down the front chute. Martinez using the high line to keep it wound up. Gets the slot cleanly away from Brinson. And here comes Simard. Brinson using that second lane to perfection. Martinez now shows the way. Brinson under heavy pressure right now from Simard. These top 3 have just flat walked away from Dylan Moskowitz. The good news is they are within that magic time of you can make it from here. The question is, who's going to try it? And Bob Lacavara goes pit side on 34 to go, or 34 laps on his fuel stint. As we are 34 to go. So just outside the window of you can make it from here if we stay green. Richard Sudduth goes pit side. So he's going to be the next one to blink. Dylan Moskowitz pit side. So you know you can make it 30 laps. As we are 32 to go. So drivers coming in for what could possibly be the money stop. Mark McFadden pit side. That's Moskowitz coming out of the pits. Struggling to stay on the lead lap. Just trying to get up to speed right now. And Martinez goes pit side. Brinson stays out. Samard stays out. Hollingsworth stays out. Walker goes pit side. O'Brien stays out. Cooper Bennett stays out. And Samard's gotten by Brinson. Brinson coming in right now. As Samard gets the bonus point for leading his first lap of the night. Cooper Bennett goes pit side. Antonucci stays out. McDavid in. Samard finally in. Taking those extra seconds to make sure you pack it full of fuel. O'Brien finally in. Hollingsworth inherits the lead and gets credit with his first lap of lead of the night. So there's Martinez. And there's Brinson. 1.75 seconds back. So once we've cycled through pit stops, it's going to get real interesting real quick. So Simard is down and away. That's him. That's Martinez, Simard, Brinson. You just saw flash by. Hollingsworth finally takes it pit side. Brinson on the outside is Simard. And Martinez inherits the lead. Brinson and Simard still going at it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we just saw the money stops. There's Martinez. There's Brinson Simard. So Martinez, 1.8 seconds to the good. Brinson, Simard, Moskowitz, Hollingsworth, Walker, O'Brien, Cooper, Bennett, McDavid, and Sudduth, your top 10. So far, we have seen 18 lead changes, 25 laps to go. Now, mind you, it is Pocono. 78-degree ambient air temperature, 85-degree track temperature. And these guys are flat getting it. Brinson and Simard cut the lead from 1.8 down to 1.7. And they are 5.5 seconds to the good over Dylan Moskowitz. .24 laps to go. Can Martinez hang on? If Brinson and Simard keep at it the way that they're going, and don't race each other, just try to reel in Martinez, as they are now down to 1.4. So they pulled a full half second off Martinez's time in 3 laps. As we are 23 to go. To go. The lead still maintains at 1.4. The rest of the field more strung out than a meth head in a methadone clinic. Heroin addict and a methadone. Anyways. this continues to be your closest battle on track. That is Scotty Brinson and Chris Samard. Samard to the outside. And with as much as these two guys are racing, they've cut the lead down to 1.3. As we are 20 to go. Everybody should be able to make it from here. Kevin O'Brien starting to have connection issues. Oh no. Kevin O'Brien may have just had a throughput. Not what he was hoping for at all. Oh, tough break.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Ah, crap. Oh no. Oh no. As you just saw James McDavid take out Sam Cooper Bennett. Let's watch that from the chopper. He's going into the tunnel turn. It's coming through one. Down the short chute, it's... No, that was coming through three. That's coming out of the tunnel turn into turn number 3. And that's $10 from each of you gentlemen. Hey, I'm getting paid tonight. Well then. Ain't that just a kick in the teeth? And it looks like Sam Cooper Bennett burned his fast repair earlier in the night. So 17 to go. It's going to be a rough one as the rest of the league coming in for their wholesale pit stops. All except for Kevin O'Brien, who stays out to get a bonus point for leading the lap. And that puts Bob Lacavara back on the lead lap. He gets the wave around. Paul Crumry stays out to get the wave around by not pitting and being in front of the leader. So David Martinez winning the battle off pit road. Simard getting out in front of Brinson. Then Moskowitz, Walker, Hollingsworth, McDavid, Sudduth, Antonucci. So we are 16 to go. We're going to step away for what hopefully will be our final word from our good friends at Low Budget TV.
Down into turn number 1. Another slide job and crossover.
The brakes are glowing on that left front as we go 3 wide for the third spot. Making sure they won't pull up. Almost in intersection.
Almost pushing each other into the intersection and around.
It's going to be fun to keep an eye on some of the B-main bombers in this one.
Gotta keep an eye on it all, but this is the battle to watch right here, the battle for third.
By the way, a little homework. Morris was able to make it back on track.
And he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
Gonna pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's gonna get them all done with. What amazing!
Race lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is gonna touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
There's contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact. He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schubert, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
And we are back as the lights are on the pace car. Martinez is going to have the button. So Martinez, Simard, Brinson, Moskowitz, Walker, Hollingsworth, McDavid, Sudduth, McFadden, and Antonucci, your top 10. Field working its way into turn number 3. Pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn. Martinez has the button.
Green flag, green flag.
And we are back underway. And Samard already under attack from Scotty Brinson. Brinson up in the second, all over the rear wing of Damon Martinez. Moskowitz all over Samard. Here comes Hollingsworth as well. Brinson bombs it into 3 and gets the lead away from Martinez. Samard and Hollingsworth go side by side down the Long Pond straightaway. Hollingsworth up into 3rd. Here comes Moskowitz on the high side. Gonna keep it wound up in that 2nd lane. Gets 4th place away from Samard. Martinez to the inside of Brinson. What's good for the goose is good for the gander as Martinez sails it off into 3. They almost touch coming across the stripe. Good grief. Martinez and Brinson continuing to slug it out. It'll be 10 to go at the stripe. Martinez with that outside line, able to keep it wound up a little bit more. Pinches Brinson up as they go into turn number 1. Brinson trying to keep it wound up. Gonna get a toe down the short chute. Martinez doing what he can to try to break the draft. This is getting ugly. Nine to go. It's Hollingsworth and Moskowitz still side by side for 3rd. Martinez with the nose out front. Brinson trying to figure out how to get by him.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And there it goes. And Samard rips the front end off the Napa Auto Parts Honda. What happened there? Mark Walker happened. Well then. Let's take a look at that one again from the chopper. See Samard with a run coming through 1. They get to the tunnel turn. Walker gets pushed wide by Hollingsworth, comes back down, and just boom goes the dynamite. And look how badly that car is crabbing. So we are back live. Be 7 to go this time across the stripe. We should go green with about 4 to go. And that's going to put Paul Crumry back on the lead lap. So Martinez, Brinson, Moskowitz, Hollingsworth, Lacavara, Walker, McFadden, McDavid, Sudduth, and Samard. I get paid again. Thanks, Mark. So Martinez shows the way. Kevin O'Brien has left the building. Sam Cooper Bennett still trying to get that car fixed. Captain Will Kirk has put it on the hauler. Kevin Cornelius has put it on the hauler. Keith Mayato has put it on the hauler. And Karen Brigelli has put it on the hauler. That leaves 12 cars still running. Bitch. As we are 6 to go. Lights are still on the pace car. Take a quick look at the summary. 22 lead changes tonight. 8 cautions. I get paid twice. Take a quick look at what's going on here. So there's Martinez showing the way. Brinson sits in second. Moskowitz could get his first podium of driving with the Top Fuel Racing League. Jeff Hollingsworth looking to get on the podium. Bob Lacavara cracking into the top 5 after being 2 laps down at one point. Mark McFadden sits in 6th. There's James McDavid. Richard Sudduth. Johnny Antonucci in the orange car. Mark Walker rounding out your top 10. Paul Crumry just getting back on the lead lap. The lights are out on the pace car. Martinez going to have the button. You got to wonder what type of restart we're going to see, as we are going to go green with 4 to go. At which point, next flag would end it. Field coming out of the tunnel turn right now. Again, Martinez going to have complete control of the field. Pace car makes that hard left turn.
Green flag.
Martinez pulls the trigger, and we are back underway. Moskowitz all over the rear wing of Scotty Brinson. Here comes Hollingsworth as well. Four laps to go, all bets are off. Brinson on the high side with the nose out front as they haul off into turn number 3. Martinez sails it into 3, throws the block. Brinson crosses him over. That could have gotten very ugly very quickly. Side by side down the short chute. Martinez able to keep it wound up in that second lane. They bang wheels coming off a 2. Crap. That's the race. Who was it? Oh, no. What happened to Paul? What the hell did happen to Paul? Holy cow. Now keep your eye on the lime green and dark green. Mark Walker sideways. It was James McDavid. Let's watch that one again. So McDavid sideways after making contact with Mark Walker and just blast Paul Crumry. And unfortunately, the steering breaks on Crumry's car. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, my Lanta. There's McDavid behind Bob Lacavara. Goes into 1. Just gets blasted by Mark Walker. Well, that's 40, Mark. And that's the race, ladies and gentlemen. Well then, white flag is out. Brinson just has to not run out of fuel. As the field working its way into the tunnel turn. Scott Brinson going to come home with the victory. Valiant effort from Damon Martinez. Did everything he could without wrecking anyone. Heartbreaker for Martinez, but you gotta respect the racing that he and Scotty Brinson did. They raced hard, they raced clean. Neither one trying to wreck the other one, which is always a great thing to see. Defensive driving, yes. Dirty driving, absolutely not. As there is your winner, Mr. Scott Brinson. We are going to... Where is everybody? We are going to reach out to... We are going to reach out to the man of the hour, Chief Cook and Bottle Washer for the Top Fuel Racing League. And Paul, Scott, I should say, you by the narrowest of margins when that caution came out. Congratulations, Scott.
Thanks, man. This one, I wanted to win it for my teammate. They unfortunately suffered a death in the family last week, and I told Paul earlier today. I didn't really get a chance to talk to Paul about it after this win here, but I told Paul earlier, we were texting, that one of us needed to go out and win this thing, and I'm just glad I could bring it home for the Crumry family.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers go out to the Crumry family after what happened this week. But yeah, I mean, you and Damon were just throwing bombs at each other all night. It was you two right at the front of the field for the vast majority of the evening. Talk us through the move that got you the victory.
Well, I burned a lot of fuel off there in that last caution, and just tried to get the car as light as I could, and just knew me and Damon were going to be racing hard. It got really crazy there on that previous run, and I just didn't know what I was in store for there at the end, and we just got side by side, and the caution come out when it did, and I was fortunate enough to be ahead. I don't know what would happen in those last two laps. We were racing so damn hard, we would likely have taken each other out. So, it's a big thing in the championship, and Damon was racing his ass off. He knew how big it was in the championship, so I don't blame him for any of those moves he made. It just, we're glad we survived it, and glad, like I said, I could bring this one home for the Crumb Rise. And part of this goes out to my girlfriend, too, for her 40th birthday. I love you, honey, very much. I love you and the kids so much.
All right. Well, again, Scott, congratulations. Now, moving forward, and joining us now as we go to Sam Cooper Bennett's hometown race next week, your thoughts moving into England and going to Brands Hatch on what will be Thanksgiving weekend here in the States?
I'm just going to try to keep the car on the track and keep it going forward, man. And I'm racing Damon at this point, and that's just going to be the focus. He'll probably finish ahead of me, but I'm just going to try to get the best finish I can at Brands Hatch and just go from there. Take it one track at a time. We got 5 races left. I'm going to take them one night at a time.
All right. Well, Scott, again, congratulations on coming home with the victory tonight. Rough night all around for Rated R Racing. You were actually the only one to finish the race.
Yeah, tough night for all my teammates. I don't know what to say about that. They all had some bad luck tonight. I'm just glad we got the win for, like I said, Dion Crumry's mom. So that's what's important to me. It was a big win in the championship, but all in all, Hell of a race, man. Tough race. Tough race. And I just want to thank all the people that support Top Fuel Racing, the drivers, the sponsors, you, Tony, Sam, everybody at Bofa Broadcast Racing, all the fans, everybody. Thanks for tuning in every week.
All right. Again, Scott, congratulations. You want to stick around for the rest of the interviews? We are going to reach out now to a guy who almost pulled it off tonight. Just an untimely caution cost Damon Martinez the top spot on the podium. But Damon, you got to be happy with your performance tonight. You led a ton of laps, and you just, if it wasn't for that untimely caution, you would have had it.
Honestly, the caution was what I was hoping for. It just took too long.
Fair enough.
God, yeah, it's a little heartbreaking. I'm not gonna lie. I had to race. It was a good race, though. I mean, I had to race Scott harder than I've had to. I had to mirror drive a bit, but I had to do it, man. Otherwise, he would have just ran away with it again. Didn't want to be in the draft on old tires going into 3. That's the worst.
Yeah, the tire wear was noticeable tonight, even from up here in the booth. You could tell the difference between the haves and the have-nots as far as who still had anything left as far as life in the tires.
Yeah, because I was still, Kieran stayed in the room when I was talking to him during the race. I finally passed Scott and I turned into turn 3 and felt like I had 5,000 more pounds of downforce. It felt like the greatest car ever. Blew my mind. I was like, oh, I can run flat now.
Yeah, just for the record, that was a pretty big low point for me in the race when you passed me on that green flag run. That was a hell of a job. You run me down.
Dude. And I was like, man, Scott's moving around. I don't want to do it, but it's like, I got to. And that's how I had to come in. And I just little by little, I finally had a good exit off, I think, 1 or 2. And then I just stuck it in there and had to just send it.
Now,
kudos to Scott, though. Honestly, anybody else, I wouldn't have trusted and just let him have the position. I knew I could race Scott about as close as possible. We had a couple small contacts, but both cars were on track.
Now, Damon, you were in the team speak with Karen to bring out that first caution. Was that a hardware failure?
Honestly, I don't remember. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I wasn't paying too much attention.
Fair enough.
3 hours ago. I'm kind of out of it.
Fair. Yeah, it was 3 hours ago.
I kept zoning out and be half the track down from the pace car. I was like, oh shit.
Okay, well, fair enough. Again, congratulations on the podium. Anybody else you want to thank tonight?
Well, I want to thank you guys up in the booth for broadcasting the race. I want to thank my buddy Simon who painted my car. Looked good, finishing second, almost first.
That was a sharp paint scheme. That was a very sharp paint scheme.
Trying to get him to put some anime chicks on it soon instead of this lion, but gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta work with what you work with, you know.
keep it PG.
But yeah, other than that, good race. Thanks to the league. Next week's gonna be a fun one. Brands Hatch, I'm expecting to do just as well. It's good to get a road course under me so I can flex the muscles a little bit better than I can on the ovals.
All right, fair enough.
Pretty damn tough tonight.
I know, dude. I had to drive so hard. I was like, I can't let him win for my pride. Just climb back into the championship. I was like, I have to drive like a little bit of a dick, but it still ended well. At least I got second, better than taking us both out.
Well, you guys you looked like you were trying coming out of the tunnel turn just before that caution came out.
I know, I almost had to. Like I said in the room, I was like, I almost had to Logano him so I could get the win, but caution just waited just long enough for Scott to be ahead, man. Worse, like I was telling Kieran, it's like a loss to a buzzer beater right now. I would rather gotten blown out. Worst.
Well, hold your head up high because you did have a hell of a points night, and moving into next week at Brands Hatch, it's probably going to go more your way than it did tonight.
I was just about to say, this ain't over, Damon, so...
Yeah, Brands Hatch is going to be crazy. It's going to be battling Sage for that one, and probably Nate and Mayato. They're both quick on the roads.
That's if Sage is back next week, because I believe...
Yeah, Super Nats is over by the weekend, I'm sure.
Yeah, but you got to remember, it is going to be the holiday weekend.
That's our boy.
It is going to be the holiday weekend here in the States, so...
it is?
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving week next week.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Day before Thanksgiving.
Nah, it's day before. We'll be alright. I'll stay here.
We'll see what happens, but again, Damon, congratulations on the podium. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you guys next week. Thank you guys.
Good job, Damon.
So that is Damon Martinez. And joining us now, rounding out the podium, uh, hell of a drive, Dylan Moskowitz.
Thank you.
Man, a few words. So, Dylan, talk us through that final restart. You and Jeff Hollingsworth were just hammer and tongs all through that final run there.
Yeah, we were pretty close. I thought there were about 5 guys that I could that were better than me, or I was about 5th, and one of them wrecked out. Well, 2 of them did, and but yeah, Jeff was killing it. He was really good. I think he got in my wake. I did one move, and it definitely screwed him up, and that was that. I was hoping, honestly, that you two were gonna wreck, and I was gonna win it. I didn't have anything for either of them. So
We damn near did. We almost handed it right to you. That
Oh,
happened in
trust me.
Sunday's race. Ask Mark Walker.
Gotcha. I didn't see the finish. I heard it was crazy though, but it
Top 5
looked.
got taken out.
Wow. Well, it looked like you guys were multiple times, and so I wanted to be in 3rd at least because I didn't have anything for either of y'all, and I wasn't even gonna try that. So I was just hoping for 3rd, and maybe that turned into a win. But it was a fun race. It was long.
Well,
So
Dylan, you're not giving yourself enough credit because you did have a hell of a run tonight. Don't forget, we were talking to the guy that started shotgun on the field and finished 3rd. So big mover of the race. And I'm going to give you the BOFA Driver of the Night award for that one. Just hell of a night. Congratulations on the podium. Talk us through your thoughts next week as the series moves over to jolly old England and the historic Brands Hatch circuit.
Thank you first off, and I give you guys props in the booth because this was a long race. I love IndyCar more than trucks. Don't have a clue how to race them very well on a road course, so I will not be there. Nor do I have Brands Hatch. So I wish everyone luck. I don't want to screw up whatever championship, whatever's going on. It wouldn't be pretty. I'll stick to the ovals for now.
Fair enough, Dylan. Again, congratulations. Looking forward to seeing you Friday night as the Paskey's Cardiac Grand National Series kicks off season number 2.
Totally forgot about that. That should be fun.
Absolutely.
That'll be a wild one, to say the least. But, have a good night. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dylan.
No, congrats to you, man. You ran a great race.
I'll be sending you $5.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. You didn't get biggest mover for the $5 because you didn't qualify. Otherwise, you'd have got the other $5.
I
too.
qualified, but it wasn't a real time, so I'm not worried about that.
Okay. Yeah, it's got to be a legit time too.
Yeah, it wasn't. So.
But either way, man, good job, dude. Good job.
Yeah, congrats on the win, bud.
Thanks, man.
Y'all have a good night.
Likewise.
Well, gentlemen, that's that's going to do it for us here as far as this one goes. Joining us now in the booth, Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett. Sam, where are you and Scott going to be tomorrow night with Somo?
Texas.
Texas, always a fun race. So the Portside Land Rover and Jaguar Cup Series for the Somo League going to be in Texas for their playoff contingent. Going to be a fun race to watch you guys broadcast tomorrow night. I will be doing a detailed map of the inside of my own eyelids, so I probably won't be around for that one.
That's good.
And the 3 of us will be in the booth on Friday, so.
And the 3 of us will be in the booth on Friday for season number 2 of the Paskey's Cardiac Grand National Series as they kick off their season opener at Daytona. So that'll be fun. And then Saturday night we will be at Homestead, Miami with the Catalyst Mint Major League Esports K&N Series as they have their season finale. So that's going to be a fun one. And then, dun dun dun, we are back at Iowa for the BOFA Classic Indy Series as they take to the shortest track we'll be seeing this season under the lights at the Iowa Cornfield.
Absolutely.
Should be a fun one. But and any drivers that are looking to get involved in that series, just fair warning, you are going to have to drive the car at Iowa. It's not going to be just put your foot to the floor and steer it. And that's done on purpose. But that is going to do it for us tonight. Get a quick rundown of the results. As coming home with the victory, Mr. Scotty Brinson. Damon Martinez just barely getting edged out for second place. Dylan Moskowitz hanging out for third. Mark McFadden coming home in fourth. Jeff Hollingsworth, after being a lap down at one point and getting caught up in 2 dumpster fires, coming home in fifth. Bob Lacavara, after being 2 laps down at one point, coming home in sixth. Richard Suddeth in seventh. Johnny Antonucci eighth. Chris Simard in ninth. Mark Walker in 10th. 11th going to James McDavid. Paul Crumry in 12th. Kevin O'Brien in 13th. Sam Cooper Bennett in 14th. Will Kirk in 15th. Kevin Cornelius in 16th. 17th going to Keith Mayato. And rounding out the field is Karen Bergelli in 18th. Now, the one thing I do want to touch base on is, did either of you guys have a chance to figure out what happened to bring out that first caution?
Tonight?
Yeah, when Bergelli and Hollingsworth got into it.
Yeah, he tried to dive bomb me and I pushed him up to the wall.
When Bergelli and Hollingsworth got into it?
Yeah, it kind of it fed him back into Hollingsworth, and obviously Bergelli didn't deal with it properly, so that happened. It started with me and him, basically.
So he was aiming for you, missed you, and got Jeff Hollingsworth. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough. Well then, that is going to do it for us tonight. You have been watching a presentation of the BOF Broadcasting Company and the Top Fuel Racing Series Indy League. They do this every Wednesday night. If you want to get involved, go ahead and drop a comment below with your iRacing screen name. We'll get it passed along to league management. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And again, thoughts and prayers going out to the family of the Silver Fox as we lost Mr. David Pearson this past week. Good night, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow night from Texas.